BlooLoop's top theme park attractions of 2020 and an excellent Halloween reunion. You are listening to episode 425 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hey everyone, it's Tracy. Woo! I'm my own biggest fan today. Welcome to the show. I am joined by Lee.
Hello everyone, I'm feeling outnumbered tonight.
And I'm also joined by Michelle. Woo!
Hello, hello.
Yay!
Girl power.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got a nice little show.
You have no idea what's going on, have you?
I have. I'm just quickly having a look. So, I don't know, I just feel like not waffling. I just want to get on with it.
But you are waffling.
Shut your face. Do you want to do it yourself?
I mean,
you will just take over anyway, because you do.
I normally do.
Yeah. Fine. Right. Let's start with which Lou gets your poo from Stephanie.
Michelle, you're going to like this one. Tracy, you will like this one as well.
Oh, Lord.
Hi, UUOP. This is Stephanie reporting from Islands of Adventure. My vote for which Lou gets your poo?
Q.
Well,
Q is for Quan. Quan is for Quan.
of course, it's Q is for Quan. Quan is for Quandary restroom. This bathroom smells like cotton candy and there's never a wait. It's one of my favorite restrooms on property and I always make sure to stop here on my way to the Wizarding World. Thanks so much.
I have to ask Stephanie, do you stop off there even if you don't need to go? Because that's kind of weird, if I'm honest. I was editing this early thinking, that's a little strange. If you don't need to go, I just pop in and go, hiya. Anybody in here?
Well, I don't know. I make my family go. Like, if one person has to go, I'm like, well, we're all going to go.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have to or not.
Have a try.
Is that the one that's, like, over by the juice place?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go round the back of it,
arch.
it takes you into...
Lost Continent.
No.
Yes?
No, if you
Sneech
go
Beach.
round the back of it, it takes you into if I ran the zoo. We've always loved that. No, it's round the back, literally just down there.
And then across the bridge and past Captain.
No.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's my
Yeah,
land,
you have to walk
trust me.
through the trees. Remember where Tracy, on her tour,
No.
she told us about that special tree that only blooms
No.
once a year? No.
No.
Was I drunk and dreaming this or what?
No, I just wasn't paying attention, obviously.
Oh, no, you weren't really.
I was getting told off. Even Tracy's pulling faces. She doesn't know what you're talking
I
about
totally
either.
remember this whole thing.
I have it on video in case you guys need a refresher of your own tour.
Quite honestly, I suspect I got sunstroke halfway through that tour because it was very hot.
It will be coming
It
out
was
as
very hot. But remember, you have to walk through all of the big, tall trees.
Yep.
Like back on that side, and it's between the buildings and it's between the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to walk through all those trees, and then you go around to the right, and then there's the zoo.
No idea. It was a long time ago.
I'll show you in a year's time.
It was a
I
year
hope
ago,
so.
hon.
It was more than a year ago, actually, hun.
Wow. Oh my God.
She called me at first.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Of course, if you want to get involved with which Lou gets your poo, because we haven't had many and it's been disappointing, actually. We do have a winner at this point. All you have to do
Winner or a winner?
is record us a little message on your phone, like Stephanie did, ideally from the parks because it's much cooler, letting us know which is your favourite Universal Studios Florida or Islands of Adventure bathroom, and send it in and we'll play them on the show. And we will get a winner at some point next year.
Is it possible to do this segment without laughing? I don't think so.
No.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It would probably be pretty funny if we did do it very seriously, though.
We've only had 8 votes so far. We do have a winner at this point.
Oh.
But it's fun. I don't care.
Oh, it's toilet humour, literally.
Let's try and come up with the next one after
Nothing
this. Katina came up with the next one, didn't she? We'll talk about it off air.
Yes, she did. Michelle, do you want to talk to us about BlooLoop?
I sure do. BlooLoop recently released their list of top 25 attractions in the world, and quite a few Universal Orlando attractions made the list. So we thought we'd cover it.
Well, BlooLoop are a pretty big sort of news outlet who do a lot of stuff on theme parks. So it's quite well respected, let's put it that way. So it's not like some random nobody just went, these are my top 25 attractions.
Okay, because that's kind of what I thought it was.
No, it's not. They're pretty big.
I've never heard of BlooLoops, so. All right. Well, coming in at number 24 out of 25 is Transformers The Ride 3D. And here's what they said. Universal opted to reuse the dark ride technology that made its Adventures of Spider-Man ride so famous. It built 3 copies of this new attraction ride concept back-to-back from 2011 to 2013. A 4th version is also currently under construction. This is set to open at Universal Studios Beijing in 2021 and will allow guests to help the Autobots save the planet.
Love Transformers The Ride 3D.
It's a good one.
It's better than the other one, in my opinion.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that you thought that.
Really? Do you not listen to our podcast? I get lambasted for it all the time. I prefer Transformers over Spider-Man.
Do you not know?
I guess I've never heard you say that.
I've said it a lot.
I've always heard you just love Spider-Man.
Okay, I will say I think Spider-Man's the better ride, but I enjoy Transformers way more.
Okay. I think I like Spider-Man more.
Yeah, well, good for you.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah, good for the pair of you.
It is.
And the women stick together. Whatever.
Yeah, we will.
I'm quite happy with the next one because up at number 21 is my personal favourite Universal Orlando attraction, and that is Men in Black Alien Attack at Universal Studios Florida. I'm glad it's got some recognition. They said many interactive dark rides end up feeling like nothing more than a moving shooting gallery. However, Men in Black Alien Attack features a fun queue experience that reveals a hidden secret agent training centre within the theme park. This nails all the classic moments of the IP perfectly as your training session is interrupted by invading aliens, putting you in the middle of the action, all for a chance to join the Men in Black. And anyone who's listened to the podcast for any amount of time knows I adore this attraction so much. It is the ride that Tracy and I have ridden the most anywhere in the world at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's awesome. It's such a competitive edge, even to the point when we were recording in the broadcast studio in February, that's where Jade went because she wanted to be better than us. She did really well, actually, on her own.
She did. That must have been really fun. Jammy bugger.
Yeah, getting to
go by herself.
It'd be awesome.
Been trying to lose you lot for years. So in at number 10. Oh, it sounds like Top of the Pops. In at number 10.
No one other than the British people know what the hell you're talking about.
I don't care.
Maybe.
Show me age as well. Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts at Universal Studios Florida. Built in 2014, this part roller coaster and part 3D dark ride. Guests get caught up in a magical bank heist adventure story of their own that takes place alongside the events of the film Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Gringotts is one that I think I've said this before, I've come round to quite a lot over the last couple of trips.
Last trip especially for me.
I was less than impressed with it the first few times we rode it. The more I ride it, the better it gets.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Why were you not impressed with it originally?
I think it comes from that. We've talked about on the show before. The bar was set so high with Forbidden Journey.
Yeah. And it was still relatively new Forbidden Journey at the time as well.
Well,
for us, anyway.
It was like 2 years. It was like Forbidden Journey had opened in whenever it was, so we went 2013. So when we rode Gringotts 2015, it'd only been like 2 years between the two. So it was a bit of a come down from Forbidden Journey. And then because that level of expectation's gone, you'd start to see it on subsequent rides for what it actually is. And I really like it.
I love Gringotts.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer Gringotts over Forbidden Journey.
Well, me too at this point, but purely only because it doesn't make me ill like Forbidden Journey does.
Everything makes you ill.
Not everything. Not everything.
Sounds like a challenge.
This next one does, but only because I've ridden Forbidden Journey before it.
Yeah. Forbidden Journey, that can get you. But Gringotts, I mean, that drop at the beginning, that's just pure fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're at the back.
Well, that and when the dragon takes you. That's fun too.
Yeah.
I like it.
Definitely. Yes.
Good one. But this next one is way better. So number 8 sees Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at Universal's Islands of Adventure opening in 2019. Universal's latest adventure ride themed to the wizarding world of Harry Potter had big shoes to fill. This is because it was replacing Dueling Dragons, later called Dragon Challenge, one of the most well-known dueling roller coaster rides in the world. Keeping and updating the castle-themed queue experience from the old ride, Universal added this as a magical high-speed motorcycle ride through the woods. Guests travel past fantastic beasts, blast through 7 separate launch moments, and move backwards as well as forwards. There's even a hidden free-fall drop track.
It is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still haven't ridden it anywhere near enough.
No.
Still, best experience at this point is riding it at like 10:10 at night on the motorbike. It was awesome.
That was so
So jealous.
It was awesome.
Yes.
The closest to dark I got was that ride with you guys the first time when it was
And
like
it was
dusk.
Yeah.
That was cool though.
Yeah, we came, the park was closed when we got off it.
That'd be amazing.
It's just, I said, I love the ride, but I love what it's added to Hogsmeade as well. It's added so much more to that land overall. Because Forbidden Dragon Challenge was two largely unthemed roller coasters, just kind of stuck there, and it really did distract from it. Now, it's awesome. It
is incredible.
And I like the entrance still is quite nondescript, the same as it was for Dragon Challenge. But you walk through that entrance and it all opens out in front of you, and it's so well designed that you get to see the ride, but you don't get to see the ride.
Exactly.
It's so
very
well
deceptive.
done. You get to get excited over the motorbike sidecar, but you don't get to see any of the creatures. You don't get to see any of the hidden drops or anything. It's so well done.
Well, you don't even get to see the launches.
No.
So when you just see the cars going past, it just looks like a normal roller coaster, nothing to be afraid of. But it's that launch that gets you, and there's 7 of those things. So it's
so well themed.
It's intense.
It is, but it's so well themed.
Yeah.
I love it.
Coming in at number 7, the one we've just talked about, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey at Universal Adventure.
Charming.
Apparently there was some on one of the screens for the longest time. The original Harry Potter themed adventure ride opened in 2010 at Universal Orlando, as we know. Copies followed at the parks in Japan in 2014 and Hollywood in 2016. That was 3D for a while, which is weird. The experience starts off, as we know, with what may be the most highly themed queue experience ever built. I haven't done Rise of Resistance yet, but... And it leads up to a wild dark ride like no other. The ride uses robotic arm-based vehicles, countless screen projections, and real-world scenery to transport riders into the Wizarding World. A 4th version of the ride is also currently under construction to open at Universal Studios Beijing in 2021. And I still can't get my head around how this attraction works, because apparently the screens are on a carousel, so you can have is it 3 or 4 on it at one go? I can't get my head around it.
No, I don't understand.
It's just those screen sections now. Yeah, my stomach goes. The one at the end, and the first bit when you swoop down over, you pass Hagrid and fly underneath. It goes, all right, you lot, you haven't seen a dragon, have you? And you fly underneath him and go. That my stomach goes. And then when you swoop low and fast over the Great Lake to go into Hogwarts at the end. My stomach just goes. It was actually Robin at the weekend that gave me a tip, because she said it does it to her as well. And she went, I know you're going to miss a little bit of it, but in fairness, the physical sets are better. Just close your eyes during the screen parts, which I did. And of course, you're missing it, but it's the difference between being able to ride it and not get sick.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I was like, our first ride at like 9 o'clock on the Saturday morning of the weekend. That's what I did. So I've never tested it again since. Because obviously when we did it the first time, before we rode Hagrid's, obviously I'd been up since like 4 a.m. in the morning. My body thought it was like 9 p.m. at that point. I'd barely drank for like 3 hours. So
you already weren't feeling well, though, to be honest.
I'm putting it down to that at that point.
Yeah.
But it does. I've heard a lot of people say that it started to get to them. I don't know whether it's just because the definition on the screens hasn't been upgraded or anything, which you could probably do with.
Yeah, they are getting a bit ropey.
Could do with a 4K conversion, but it's
still
still
it could
awesome.
also be that we're getting older.
Well, I mean, there is that as well. We are getting older, Michelle.
No.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Just the portrait off in the attic. Yeah. Right. Well, finally taking the number 1 spot.
This surprises me.
Doesn't?
Me too.
Not me. The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man at Universal's Islands of Adventure. So number 1 on the list of the top 25 theme park attractions is The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. Many said this was the best dark ride on the planet when it opened in 1999. And it's only got better after a complete upgrade in 2012. I didn't realise that was that long ago.
Yeah, it was just after we started the podcast.
Yeah. The upgrade added 4K projectors with newly updated animation to match. And the attraction is the perfect mixture of screens and real scenery. And it's the only ride I've ever seen that seems to put the riders into the middle of a comic book action adventure. That's a quote, not my opinion. Yeah. I do like it's nostalgic as well now because it's been there forever.
My biggest issue is the 4K projection. The digital 3D isn't as good as, I've said this many, many times on the show, the digital 3D isn't as good as the old school film 3D. So you look at the 3D effects on T2 3D before that closed, it was starting to look ropey, but in its heyday, you got proper come out at you.
Yeah, proper 3D.
Which is what these attractions are all about.
Yeah.
And now the digital 4K 3D is the same as going to the cinema or going watching it on a 3D TV. It's not about coming out. It's about adding depth to it. It's about like you're looking through a window rather than it coming out at you. And it doesn't work for these theme park attractions because that's what it's about. It's about putting things in your face. So it doesn't work as well. Before they did the 4K upgrade, the drop at the end, I used to dig my feet into the bottom of the vehicle every time because I genuinely felt like I was falling.
Yeah.
And now I don't.
Yeah.
Because of that 4K projection, it's not the same.
Yeah, you're right. It could use a refurbishment too. Almost every single time. I would say 90% of the time that I ride it now, it breaks in some way.
Really?
Yeah. Whether it be like the ride itself just freezes or the audio goes off or some aspect of it like the fire or something isn't working. It's really been lacking for the past at least year, I would say.
Okay. That's sad.
So it surprises me that it still hits the number one on a list.
You hear enough people talking about Rise of the Resistance at this point, and for Spider-Man, I don't actually know where Rise of the Resistance was on this list.
I wonder if it is influenced by that nostalgic feel then.
I haven't ridden Rise of the Resistance, so I can't attest to that ride and how it compares.
I mean, Spider-Man is, when you look at it, how good it still is, having been open now for 21 years. And the fact that they've cloned it with Transformers is testament to how good that ride system is. There's still moments in it that blow me away that we've pointed out. And when Spider-Man first drops down before he jumps on your ride vehicle, that he jumps on a ladder and jumps off. And that ladder's a physical ladder.
Yeah.
Is mind-blowing.
I don't know if I've ever noticed that.
Really? Yeah, you watch. He actually, there's an actual physical ladder at the side that the screen lines up with, and it tilts as he jumps on it. It's awesome. Because one of the first times we ever rode it, it broke down. Rise of the Resistance is number 5, apparently. It broke down, so it still went through, but all the screens were off. And to see that from a point of view where none of the screens are off, it shows you how easily the brain is fooled. Because the bit when you get blasted by Doc Ock's anti-gravity gun, you barely tilt maybe 25 degrees. And it's all the fact that the buildings at the side are on like like they're moving.
Like rollers type.
Yeah.
And then the screen and blasting air down on you, all that put together to fool the brain that you feel like you're actually being lifted up is still awesome to this day. But I am genuinely surprised that it made number 1.
Me too.
That a 21-year-old ride that Hagrid's was as low down as it was.
I think nostalgia's playing a part there then.
Maybe. But I suppose you look at Hagrid and go, yeah, it's awesome. But is it doing anything new? Not really. It's just a roller coaster.
Well, they're all just rides at the end of the day.
Well,
You're going to be like
to
that.
me, I think it's doing something new. It's got 7 of those launches. You're riding on a motorcycle.
But I've done that before.
It has the drop track part.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Oh, I haven't.
It does nothing that we've never done before.
Yeah, but that's in the UK.
Cheetah Hunt is launches, the drop track we've done on 13 at Alton Towers, the spiky backwards sections, all of that. We've done pretty much all of that before. It's not doing anything that's unique. It's just kind of. But then saying that
it's combining all of those.
But then Rise
together.
of the Resistance is exactly the same. We said that when we watched the ride throughs of Rise of the Resistance. It's not doing anything new. It's just a combination of every theme park technology that's been built to this date to create this immersive Star Wars story.
Well, if that's how you feel, we'll cancel next year and save some money.
No, I want to go to Horror Nights.
That's all been done before.
No,
that's
technically, no, it's all new though. That's the thing.
It's still no scares for you.
Hagrid's combined all of that, and it made it very themed. There aren't a whole lot of like super themed actual roller coasters in the world, so all of that combined, I think, makes it pretty unique.
Yeah, but I agree with their list of saying it's not. It shouldn't have been in the top 3.
Not number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're talking about the top theme park attractions in the world, yeah, I understand why it's not. But it's interesting how they put Transformers so low down, and yet they're virtually the same ride. Like, surely you should put that at number 2, because it's like, if one's 1, then that should be 2, because they're both the same attraction. But they are. It's exactly the same attraction.
Obviously, people feel differently about it. It may be the same attraction, bare bones, but it's different films.
It's not. Transformers is way more action-packed anyway.
In your humble opinion.
No, not in my humble opinion. It is way more action-packed. There are no lulls in Transformers. There are in Spider-Man.
But your argument is still falling flat
I don't
because
care.
people disagree with you.
People always disagree with me. I'm used to it by now.
Oh, but you still keep talking.
Yes, I know.
Anyway, while I shut Lee up, so there's no Seth this week, as he hasn't been at the parks this week and he's a little busy. So I am just going to get straight on with the Producers Club birthdays. And we have 2. And the first one is, I'm going to hash this name up.
Just pronounce it as I say it. I would.
I'm so sorry, Jason. But happy birthday for October the 28th to Jason Montagut.
Or is it Montagu?
Montagut. Jason, lovely Jason, it is your birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's just been to Universal.
Oh, good birthday present. And then on November the 1st, we have the equally lovely Chris Natalini's birthday. Happy birthday, Chris!
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris. Thanks for booking with me.
Hey.
Birthday gift for himself. Almost Halloween babies.
Yeah, no one on Halloween.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
So, I know. Right, we are going to take an ad break while I beat some sense into Lee. We'll be back.
Have you taken a stroll down Diagon Alley and visited Gringotts Bank? Taken a ride through New York with Jimmy Fallon? Visited the Truffalo trees in Seuss Landing or hung out with a real-life Transformer? No? Then what are you waiting for? At Universal Orlando Resort, there truly is an option for everyone. Or if you're leaning a little more towards pixie dust rather than wands and potions, Disney destinations around the globe await your arrival. No matter the adventure, our sponsors have you covered. Be sure to let the experts at Mouse Muggle Travel Company take care of all your travel needs, earning the distinction of being an earmarked agency specializing in Disney destinations, as well as becoming one of the first to be named a U Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts Vacations. Mouse Muggle Travel Company will ensure you receive top-rated customer service. Just visit mouseandmuggle.com to fill out a no-obligation quote request, or send your request to info@mouseandmuggle.com. Their team can take care of you no matter where in the world you want to go. With a flick of their wand and a little bit of pixie dust, the process will be so seamless, some might even say it's simply magical.
Welcome back. We are now very happy to be joined on the show by Jason Surrell to discuss We Party On, Bill and Ted's excellent Halloween reunion. Hey, Jason.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
We're good. How are
Good
you?
to have you back on.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to be back on. It's great to be anywhere at this point.
I hear you.
Before we get into talk about this, it's interesting. The one thing I love that COVID has done is make people look at things in a very different way and coming up with different ways of doing things. And I think what we're going to talk about right now is another one of those things that's kind of come out of the situation that we found ourselves in right now.
You are absolutely right in probably more ways than you know.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, and what I mean by that is, in the early days of quarantine, so I think I left the office for the last time in March, and that sort of is what triggered our period of quarantine and exile over here. I started thinking as the months dragged on and we got into maybe, I think, May, I thought, what would be really fun would be to try to do a FaceTime Live or a Zoom call or something that could reunite members of the cast and crew of my old Bill and Ted shows, because we're talking, 25 years plus at this point. So I started talking about it with a few friends and a few of my old cast members. And the more we talked about it, several people said, there might be interest in something like this beyond just our little group, because back when I was doing Halloween Horror Nights, it was almost like, the Little Rascals or, Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland putting on a show. as opposed to the giant juggernaut that it became.
Yeah.
But with the extensive fan base that both Halloween Horror Nights in general and Bill and Ted in particular have, people started to tell me, you might want to consider doing that publicly, because some of the fans might want to hear some of those stories, especially considering that our shows that we did aren't really readily available, like so many of the more recent ones. And then after we started talking about it being public, we thought, well, wait a minute, if we're going to do that, let's try to help people. Let's see if we can do it as a fundraiser to benefit some of the very people who put on these shows who have been impacted by COVID, because as you know, Orlando has been devastated by the pandemic. And we just thought this might be a way to try to raise some money to give something back to the people, our cast and crew, who have given so much of themselves over the years to everyone that comes to visit us here in Florida. And that's really how it started.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've been in lockdown, we've been watching the Reunited Apart that Josh Gad did with the Lord of the Rings and the Back to the Future, and it's that kind of thing.
Yeah,
that was a huge inspiration. I'm glad you brought that up, because I found myself looking forward to the Josh Gad shows as one of the few points of light, kind of the bright spots throughout the summer. And I just found myself getting so nostalgic.
Yeah.
And then you would get excited about the next one, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing Back to the Future. Oh my gosh, they're doing Ferris Bueller. And the way they were handled and executed was just so great.
It really was.
And the odds of something like that happening in person anywhere as a special event are slim. Even more so with what we're doing. You would never get this kind of group of people together again at one time in one place. So this was really the only way to go. And it was very much inspired by Reunited Apart and some of the other things like that people have turned to for comfort throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like with us doing the podcast. It's been that way. It's a way of connecting with people when you can't be around people.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I've started having individual phone calls to confirm people and things like that. And then, you already start tumbling down memory lane. I was on the phone yesterday with a guy named Chris Lepps, who's now a filmmaker and very accomplished Hollywood stuntman. He was one of my original bills, and he's also one of my best friends. But we started tumbling down the rabbit hole of stories, and had tears in our eyes. We were laughing so hard, and I finally had to say, "Stop!" It's kind of like Johnny Carson or David Letterman, where they're like, "Let's save it, for Thursday."
Yes. We know those when you get people on the podcast and you end up, the 5 or 10 minute chit chat beforehand, you end up talking about stuff and it's like, whoa, hang on, no, we need to stop when this is recorded. We're not recording yet.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're like, well, we've talked about that. I'm bored now.
Well, looking at the press release for the event, you have a lot of awesome crew back together. Julie Zimmerman, you mentioned Chris Lepps, James Keaton, Adrienne Lepeltier, Paul Vroom, just to name a few. How has it been connecting with all those people and coming together for this event?
It's funny because with certain people like Chris and James, we were never really out of touch. Yeah. So it's fun to come together again in this context. Julie will forever be one of 3 significant people in my career without whom I would not have had a career. And I personally feel that as the years have gone by, she's been a little bit overlooked, with her contribution. She's the co-creator of Halloween Horror Nights itself, but the creator of Bill and Ted. And so she's not only a central figure in my life and someone for whom I have a great deal of love and affection, but I'm just excited to get her out there again. And I know she's been doing a little bit more in recent years, but I'm really excited to get her out there again with Adrienne, with me, with some of the cast, just as a thank you, if nothing else, because, this is really her baby. And, I mentioned this thing started as kind of a private thing for us. And when it started to get a little bit bigger with the possibility of doing it for people, that was when I made the decision to cover the 90s in general, because, originally it was just going to be a private thing. So it made sense just to stick to the shows that I did. But we had to include Julie and Adrian as the original. Julie thought of it, and Adrian was the first director, because we wanted to make it comprehensive. So now it's really, you're getting the 90s, but you can't do that without Julie and Adrian.
Well, we've had Julie on the show 3 or 4 times at this point, and she was kind of part of. We hosted an event. Michelle, the travel agent, kind of put it all together last year that Julie came to us. She came to Scare Actor Dining with us. She actually did the first 2 houses at Horror Nights with us last year.
She's a sweetheart.
And she was
amazing.
So switched on going to those houses. Like, she, even though she hasn't been to Halloween Horror Nights since she left Universal, she walked through those houses. I've talked to people who were there going through the houses with her. She still knew how those houses were set up, was pointing out where every boo hole was, where everything was. She just lit up walking into those houses.
It's fabulous.
It is unfortunate once you know how the sausage is made. It's like, I love going but it's kind of like, I go into the houses at this point, honestly, more to just soak up and really enjoy the production design.
Yes, we're the same.
Again, having been, part of it, you're like, okay, I have a pretty good idea what's going to happen. And then when they do get you, you're that much happier, because you're like, oh, you got me, and I theoretically should know where it's coming from. But, for me, the fun is, oh my gosh, I'm in the Overlook Hotel. I'm in the Doyle house at the end of Halloween. I'm in the Freeling house from Poltergeist. So for me, it's become more about immersing myself in some of my favorite horror movies, because nobody does it better than Universal then and now. And it's, HHN is the premier Halloween event in the world. It can't be touched.
Yeah, and it's absolutely killing me at the moment. We would have been heading out there next week if things had have all been normal. We would have been out there next week for Horror Nights.
Yeah, I'm thrilled that the company opened 2 of the houses to day guests, just so folks can get a little bit of that Halloween feel, because the event just has its own, as you well know, its own personality. It's got a certain smell, it's got a vibe, it's got a sound, and it's like, so part of me is like, how do I even know it's fall? If there's no Halloween. Yeah, but it's been a pleasure to see how it's grown, because like I said, when we were doing it, we were kind of the team that built it or helped build it into what it is. And now it's like, I tell people, you find yourself almost a little envious. Like, well, I wish I had all these toys in our toolbox. There's whole websites and merchandise now. It's like, I wanted that, But it's wonderful. And I love the fact that it's, 12 minutes from my house. And like everybody, I'm looking forward to next year.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
But this Thursday, we hopefully will be able to reconjure a little bit of that Bill and Ted magic. And, I'm just looking forward to it because, as we said in the press release, many of us have not seen each other in over 20 years. So I think that in and of itself is going to be exciting and just a lot of fun, certainly for us. And our hope is that will translate, for the audience, if there is one.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
Well, speaking about it then, Jason, what is the idea behind the reunion? What's it going to be? When people tune in, what are they going to expect? And I need to ask, how are you going to censor Adrian?
Well, I hate to correct you, but no one censors Adrian in any way, shape, or form.
That's so
Adrian
true.
Lepeltier is nothing less than a force of nature.
I adore him.
I would not think to constrain him in any way.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this now then.
And the good news is you don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. And I would wager Adrian doesn't know.
I agree.
No, but that, because I worked for him for most of the 5 years that I was there. And he's just an incredibly dear man. And he's an institution here. But to answer your question, we're going to go chronologically through the 90s. And I would say the first almost hour will be given over to the origins. So, I want to get Julie talking about just the origin of the event, period. And then we'll get into Bill and Ted, and we'll bring, as I call him, Dame Adrian Lepeltier.
Yes, I saw that.
And then we'll actually continue our journey through the 90s with people coming in and dropping off, very much like they did on the Josh Gad shows. That was very much an inspiration for us. And we're not trying to rip anything off. It's just this was going to be a private party, and now we're opening it up to the public. But that's how it's going to go. And hopefully we'll get some photos and some video clips up there for people that haven't had a chance to experience some of our early work. And I'm anxious to show off some of these actors, because we've had some really, really funny people come through that show over the years, and I really want to show them off.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to sneak out, guys, because I have to get my kid to soccer practice or baseball practice. Yeah. But Jason, it was great talking to you, and I hope to do it again soon.
Yeah, it was great talking to you. Thank you for having me.
All right. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I know we had Kevin Vincent on the show when it first closed. We did like a tribute to Bill and Ted, and I know some of the stories he told us about it. It's like you don't realize how much work goes in behind the scenes, and things like this. There's always going to be stories to tell.
Of course.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's like any other theatrical production. Your troupe every year becomes a family, and things are incredibly intense, for 1 or 2 months, and then everyone kind of scatters to the four winds, and then a lot of them come back again. Because I used a lot of the same people over and over again, not only because they're brilliant actors or amazing comedians, but because we all work so well as a unit. And you start to develop that shorthand. And I think for me that was part of what made the show fun, and also part of what made it successful, because 95% of it was in the casting.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And then I think a lot of the rest of it was off. If you had a good year, pop culture and sort of political wise, you had a lot more to riff off than other years, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember, and again, now I got to remind myself to save it for Thursday. But 1996, I remember I felt I came up a little bit short, because the first year the show was on, it was basically the Wild West show with Bill and Ted and some spooky characters added. 94 was when we started to really get into the year in review type thing. In 96, I feel like, I came up a little bit short. So what I did instead was I took timeless characters instead of timely characters and matched them up in that way, heroes versus villains. And that proved to be just as successul. Because again, I think it all comes down to the cast and winning over the audience and telling a good story. But that was always the fun, picking the characters, deciding exactly how you were going to satirize, how far you were going to take the satire. And, for me, it turned out to be, different for every character. One character you would dial up to 11, and then the other one you would keep a little bit more subdued. But it was always that weird mixture, that kind of magical alchemy, that made the show what it was back when we were doing it.
Yeah, I think Bill and Ted became a staple of Halloween Horror Nights. You saw the outpouring of love and affection for it that year it cancelled. And I think you know how popular and how big a show becomes when the cast themselves begin. I'm not necessarily celebrities, but people who theme park people recognize. So people like Jason Ryan Perry, Kevin Vincent, Joey Wolf, those type of people that become sort of semi-theme park famous because of the show.
Yeah, James Keaton, I think, is beloved here locally.
Sorry, James.
And how dare you?
I know. I can't believe. I do apologize.
No, but he's beloved by the audience and all of us alike. I mean, I've been close friends with him for almost 30 years now, and it's great to see him sort of get his due for what he's contributed, here in Central Florida, for decades now. Because I was talking to someone this morning, and it really is true, the motto that we have at a lot of the companies, which is we work while others play, and that's true. And I think that's one of the reasons that it was important to us to do this for a charity that would benefit artistic people hit hard here in Central Florida, because they've given so much of themselves for so many years for so many people. And now, they need a little something. So I'm hoping that the audience will tune in and be generous with the charity.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know getting off a little bit, and Jason's going to talk about in a second, but like we've done it with the show that the podcast charity for us has been Give Kids the World. We've donated as much as we can over the last few years, and we've done a lot of fundraising for them this year because, like you say, there's a lot of these things that have been hit really hard from COVID that don't have the types of money that the theme parks have or like these major companies, and it does make a big deal.
It's important to help keep them afloat because they are necessary and they are needed and very much appreciated.
Yeah, and I think the way that relates Give Kids the World is such an amazing, talk about an international institution.
Yes.
But you're right, resources only go so far, and I think that's one of the things with trying to benefit creative types here locally, our actors, our technicians, our artisans, whatever. They're you think actor and you automatically think of George Clooney, Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, are making millions of dollars a movie. But the bulk of working actors aren't making money hand over fist, and even in good times sometimes struggle. So when something like this comes along, it's absolutely imperative, that we try to help because of just the sheer joy that these folks have brought millions of people for so many years, and that's why it's important, for us to try to help as much as we can.
I've been saying all through all this whole pandemic that the arts in all shapes and forms are being cast aside because they're not important, but they are, because
what else would you be doing during lockdown without the arts?
These are things that aid mental health of people, because you go and see a play or you go and see like a little skit somewhere. It's an escape from your own troubles for a while.
You guys have hit on the supreme irony and shame of this whole thing, which is, what do any of us turn to in a time of crisis?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's escape. It's entertainment. It doesn't matter if it's going to see a movie, going to a concert, reading a book, or binging your favorite TV show.
Exactly.
It's all entertainment.
Yep.
And especially with COVID, we're turning to those things, which is why it's so awful that the creators of those things are hurting so badly.
Yeah.
It's a horrible, horrible irony. And that's why we chose the charity we did. It's called GoPAR.
Yes.
Greater Orlando Performing Arts Relief. One of the little natives is getting restless here.
That's okay.
I believe she said support GoPAR, but I can't be sure.
That's what I heard as well.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, but obviously we don't want to get too much into the stories and take that away from you for your own show. Can you tell us a little more about GoPAR then, and how our listeners can get involved?
Yes, it was organized as a way to help the creative community here in Florida. And, I think the best way that certainly your listeners and fans of theme parks, fans of Halloween can help is to go to their website now or during the show. We'll obviously have it up on the screen the entire time, and just give whatever you can, because it's one of those situations where the lion's share of the proceeds go directly to the people that they're trying to help.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. We're going to have a wonderful time putting on the show, and I think it means something to all of us that we have a kind of a really cool reason that we're doing it now, beyond just our own reminiscing.
Yeah, like you say, coming off the back of those reunited apart, I think it is very much that, and I think you'll find that there'll be a lot of theme park fans will be really interested in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point about some of these folks garnering their own following, I mean, here's the chance for you to see James Keaton, Adrian LaPeltier, Joey Wolf, Chris Leps. We have a ton of funny people. Julie is hysterically funny. I mean, to me, she's become kind of a Carrie Fisher type, this sort of elder statesman of the industry who just says whatever's on her mind.
Yes.
And you love her all the more.
Oh,
for
yes.
it.
Absolutely.
So, that right there is a reason to tune in, because you're going to laugh. Yeah. You're going to be entertained for 2.5 hours.
I completely agree. Where can people get more information and watch this show, please, Jason?
I would go to the Attractions Magazine website. It's going to be on their dedicated YouTube channel. I am the worst when it comes to technology. So I would just say everything you need to know is that Attractions Magazine, I'm assuming that's .com. I probably should know that, but
think so.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'll post it all on our Facebook page
Yeah.
and our social media as well. So if you're looking for it, it'll be in the show notes for this.
I made it very clear to everyone I will need something flashing on my screen that says click here in order to. And the whole thing's being stage managed. I mean, we have people that were actually members of the Bill and Ted crew who are actually helping stage manage this thing.
awesome.
And there are Zoom green rooms when you're waiting to go on, and
Wow.
all sorts of other things that I don't understand. And people were eager to help. You know, it's even people that didn't work on Bill and Ted. They're like, well, I want to be part of this. You know, and
Wow.
one of our stage managers back in the day, Liz Lopez, volunteered to host the Zoom green room just because she was excited and wanted to be part of it. So that just shows you the kind of spirit behind this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I think you look
fantastic.
at that Orlando, I know it's kind of not the theme park community, but it kind of is. That theme park community is so close-knit. And once you make a connection within that, we found it just from doing this podcast. Once you make a connection
Yeah.
to someone, that connection's there for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because people talk about the competition at the corporate level and stuff like that. But when you get right down to it, it'll take our acting community. No one cares
No.
where anybody works. Everyone
Exactly.
loves each other
Yes.
and takes
Yeah.
care of each other and performs together. And that's the kind of spirit we're bringing to this thing, because there really are no boundaries, when it comes to the artistic community.
It's great as well because you look at how many people, I think with Bill and Ted coming out, Bill and Ted Face the Music coming out this year, I think a lot of people were like, do you think we'll get Bill and Ted back at Horror Nights
Yeah.
this year? And in a way, you're kind of doing it.
Yeah.
It was funny because that did factor into the thinking, because we're sitting here like, well, they're back on the big screen.
Yeah.
They're not going to be on stage. In fact, there is no stage because events are being canceled left and right. We don't even know if there's going to be trick or treating. So at least we can get a dose of Bill and Ted into people's lives and have some fun and do some good, while doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's like I say, out of the disaster, many awesome things have been born. It's so great that people have used this in a very productive and helpful way, and this is no exception to that.
Well, thank you for saying, and thank you for helping us get the word out, because now that we are doing this for charity, it's really become sort of a mission
Yes.
for us, because we would have been perfectly content to have a little reunion and laugh and cry together and reminisce, but now that it is an event where we're trying to build an audience and raise some money, that's really become important to us, because
I understand
so many people in this area are suffering.
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of friends in that area, in the Orlando area. Like, we know a lot of people you've mentioned already. We have a lot of friends in that, so obviously we want to help out as much as we possibly can.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure.
Well, I really appreciate it, because I know you guys do a lot for us, and this really means a lot to me personally.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, hopefully, might be able to actually stay up ourselves. It's rather late for us.
Yeah. If I'm not at work the next morning,
Come on,
Yes.
it's James Keaton and Adrian
know.
LaPeltier. Stay up.
look, I want to watch it just for Adrian. No offense
watch
to everyone
Ron.
else, but
We could do 2.5 hours with just Adrian, no problem.
I'm sure.
That's the issue, is going to be reining some of these folks in.
Yeah. Well, I've got no school the next day, so I should be all right. I could be a lazy student the next day.
you could.
You're expected to go into class with bloodshot eyes and
Exactly.
hungover.
Yeah.
You'll have a LaPeltier hangover.
Oh, I
It's
don't let them
COVID. You
handle
get the
that.
excuse for doing school from home now.
Oh, don't. It's bad.
Like, this was for charity. Give me a break. I had to tune in.
Absolutely. Obviously, we wish you all the luck with it. And we hope you raise
Thank you.
so much
Yeah,
money.
thank you very much. That means a lot, and hopefully, plenty of people will be listening
Yes.
to hear what it was like doing Bill and Ted way back in the day.
Yes.
I'm sure they will. They will.
Thank you very much for having me. It means a lot,
You're welcome.
and I hope you enjoy the show.
So yeah, that will wrap up the show. That's going to do it for another podcast. We'll be back next week, but for now we will end with another listener submitted Universal Is, and this one comes from Jason himself. Now, if you want to be involved, just drop us an email to podcast@uuopodcast.com, letting us know what you think Universal is in 3 words or less. It's not as easy as you think. So, Jason, it is over to you.
Well, the one I came up with, I think, was very clearly designed with the conditions we're living in now.
Yes.
And to me, it's Universal is forever. You know, we have a series of billboards in town that promote the park, you know, like smiles are universal, happiness is universal. So I kind of flipped it on its ear a little bit for Universal is. And I say Universal is forever because no matter how things look now, how bleak things seem to be with impacts to theme parks and theater and concerts and any and everything you can imagine, this is going to be short-lived and things are going to come roaring back. Here in Orlando, the parks already are back.
Yes.
And, you know, they're limping along right now because conditions are a bit rough, but they're not going anywhere. The industry is not going anywhere. Entertainment's not going anywhere. And the things that we provide, escape, comfort, and reassurance, aren't going anywhere. So for me, Universal is forever.
Awesome.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we will catch you next week.
Guess that wraps things up for another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. You guys did all right. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Listen and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or anywhere podcasts are found. You can find our blog at uuopodcast.com. Send us your spews, which Lou gets your poo recordings, questions, or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, and our awesome sponsors, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company. So, until next time, don't give up your day job. Say cheese! See you later!